We have a lot of news going on today. Of course, the most recent thing, I don't know if we still have that video again, but this is somebody being arrested now for a leaked documents case. This is a 21-year-old, Jack Teixeira, with the U.S. Air Force National Guard, who on a chat room talking about games and God and guns, which was the focus of that particular chat room, was releasing all kinds of information that was damaging. And it took a little bit of time to identify where this was. Don't know why it took so long. Everything's relative, of course, but a lot of information leaked out there. And moments ago, we saw Merrick Garland come out and say, not much other than that arrest had occurred.
That he had been arrested exactly in connection with leaking these documents. Also, where you're looking at now is outside his home in Massachusetts, which is where he was based, but also arrested. And the FBI was searching his home. I'm not sure if they're finished with that yet, but again, he was arrested. 21-year-old airman in the National Guard, Jack Teixeira. And joining us now to discuss further, former federal prosecutor Doug Burns, along with our special guests, political analyst Mark Halpern and Republican strategist Krysia Lenzo. Krysia, I want to start with you. Your take on what we've been seeing. Again, we see the president, I feel like I'm repeating this, but I'm going to put it out there, the president saying he was not terribly concerned, maybe speaking more than he should have, revealing too much. How much confidence do you think this gives Americans and also our foreign allies in this president?
Not much. I am very concerned about the fact that Joe Biden is not concerned at all. And this is this nonchalant attitude which he has taken all along in his administration, which is leading to numerous leaks. Leaks at this point are now becoming commonplace, whether it's a Supreme Court leak of a major case, exactly. Whether it's or overturning it, whether it's leaks out of DA Bragg's office. These are becoming more and more frequent. And I would unfortunately have to say it can be attributed to Joe Biden's nonchalance.
Doug Burns, your take on this?
No, leaking is a devastating problem. The mention was made of the draft opinion in the abortion decision. I mean, that's outrageous. Nothing was really done meaningfully at all. And same thing with Bragg. Again, absolute felony violation of New York state law, leaking confidential, secret grand jury information that's protected by statute. And now in this situation, we just see it proliferating on and on and on. So as a lawyer, all I can bring to the table is we've got to get serious about this and have much more intense scrutiny and enforcement.
Yeah, Mark, how does something like this happen, these ongoing leaks? I mean, how does that even start? Because you would assume, especially as a civilian, an American like me, America must keep everything very, very safe. I have such an exceptional level of trust, or I should say had, but this is making me question how secure things actually are.
Already hearing from Capitol Hill and from intelligence veterans, seeing that guy in his gym clothes, risking Americans' intelligence assets around the world, allegedly, and the fact that these could be put out on a gamer site for a group of people around the world, this is going to demand a lot of accountability of this administration and of the intelligence community. How could someone low level, if he's guilty, how could someone this low level have access to such high secrets?
Yeah, and to switch gears just a little bit, we also know the president, former president in town, Krysia, today with Letitia James about another case against him. This one having to do with allegations that he inflated the value of his assets, then marked them lower for tax reasons, this fraud case against him. What are your thoughts when you see this?
This was to be expected. I work with Michael Henry, the Attorney General candidate who was running against Letitia James, and this is what she campaigned on. This was her supposed mandate to get Trump, to go after Donald Trump, and this is exactly what we're seeing with DA Alvin Bragg. So, again, we're facing a political witch hunt. There's a two-tier justice system, and unfortunately, this is wasting taxpayer dollars when people are literally fleeing New York. I think I read a statistic, 30% of people or so are planning to leave New York State because of crime issues in the next 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, you know what's keeping people here, or what keeps the numbers up, are immigrants. I mean, think about that. Yes. I mean, people are leaving and being replaced by people coming into the country. So,
yeah, Doug, what do you make of Letitia James' case?
Well, I mean, we cannot have candidates for state attorney general, candidates for New York County District Attorney, running on a platform of targeting, and I'm going to get a particular individual. It's disgraceful. Interestingly enough, and by direct analogy to the Bragg indictment, this case, if you look at it and you break it down and you dissect it, has lots of problems. I heard Bob, alluding to it, and he's right. The first question any prosecutor asks when a loan fraud case is presented is, how much money has the bank lost and what are the status of the loans? Apparently, if I understand the facts correctly, there are no losses in this case and the loans perform. Last point, and then I'll be quiet, is the banks do tremendous internal due diligence themselves in these real estate deals, okay?
Yeah. And who was the victim? Because everybody got paid. That's the other thing. So thank you, Doug Burns. Appreciate you being with us. Always enjoy your presence.
My pleasure. Thank you, Bob.
All right. Well, folks, Newsmax is